in this room must have come to a point in their life where they have to make difficult choices. Try to think of your last one, or maybe your first one. For me, my very first difficult choice of my life was when I had to choose my university major. Do you know that I used to be a student of architecture? And then I changed to urban planning. And then accounting. And then mass communication. And then public relations. Before finally settling with the major that I have today. All of that in 1 year. Is it? In fact, some of you know that I used to be a video game addict. So back then I thought my life calling was supposed to be game development or IT related. Yeah, right? And so, I'm pretty sure you guys can understand why I often look back and then I always think, do I make the right choice? Why? Because you would think after all of these, I would have landed myself in the perfect major of my life. Well, I'll let you be the judge. I am a student of applied English in China. Doesn't sound strange to you? Alright, let me put it this way. I am someone from Indonesia who goes all the way to China to take English. I mean, might as well next time I'm just going to go to the US and take some Chinese courses, right? To this day, this is a true story. If you go to my dad and ask what his son studied in college, he would have said, I don't know. Literally just earlier in February, I was in Indonesia, we had like this quality time, father and son, and he told me, I'm actually glad that nowadays you work with a job title that makes sense. Anyway, I was so disturbed because if anything I knew back then that my job, my passion was not to teach. Nor did I wish to become an academic or scholars to write essays. It's boring. But those two were the most straightforward path out of my major. Until one day, I remembered a lullaby that my mom used to sing to me when I was little. The title is this, what you're looking at. And the chorus sounds like this. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Beautiful choice. Beautiful song, right? You see, most of us, when facing difficult choices, we tend to think, what do we do if you're wrong? But that's the point. We all know the saying, well, if you don't try, then you will never know. It sounds so cliche, but it's cliche for a reason. Because for real, whatever will be, will be. Nobody in this room knows what the heck the future's like. Of course, I'm not saying this so that you don't have to plan at all. You're like, I'm just gonna sit back on my sofa, get some bag of popcorn and see how my life plays out. It doesn't work that way. Failing to plan is still planning to fail. But let me put it this way. When we can free our own mind from the fear of making the wrong choice, we will be in a much better place. Because the worst thing that can happen to us is when we trap ourselves into this downward spiral and ended up not choosing at all. My dad used to tell me this. Kid, life is full of choices. Eventually, not choosing is still a choice. But when you choose, that's always the right choice. I mean, wow. That's like such a massive game changer for me. Because now I don't have any more reason to be afraid of choosing. In fact, I don't care if I'm wrong. Because the only thing for me to do is to do. This is the message of Ouyang's speech just now. As long as we do, we already win. It took me a while to figure it out, but I think I get it now. In life, today's destination is tomorrow's checkpoint. I mean, think about it. When we were in college, we used to see work as our next goal. But now that most of us are working, we are already setting ourselves for another destination of life, to get married maybe. But you need to have some girlfriend or boyfriend first. That's how we've always been playing the game. And so I have arrived at a conclusion. No matter what the outcome, right or wrong, as long as we do, we would have learned something. And that puts us way ahead than others who don't. Besides, who cares if we're wrong? We have all the time we need to correct ourselves, to rectify our mistakes. Life was never meant to be a sprint. Life is a marathon. It's all about the long game. And so I thought to myself, all right, then it's okay if today I make a fool of myself. Why? Because I believe in 10 years, well, I dare us, in 10 years, let's make that fool look cool. From the dude that knows nothing to the dude that actually teaches something, right? But before all that happened, it all started from a choice. I mean, of course, we will still be hurt from falling down. Of course, I will still feel bad when I embarrass myself. But I want to believe that those feelings will come to pass. Whereas the learning will stick with us forever. So this completely shifted my mind from thinking short term into long term. So I want to encourage us all. I have personally promised myself. I decided, whenever I'm struggling to choose, damn it, I was so nervous just now. I will tell myself, Sera Sera, whatever will be, will be. This is how I do it. What about you?
Two minutes silence for guidance.